under the algebraic section, I'm going to start out by doing part B. No, I'm doing it over here. Part B. B says the following. It says, let j of x equal x squared plus 4, and let k of x equal x squared minus 4. And it said which of the combinations will be even, which will be odd, which will be neither. Right? Which will be even, which will be odd, which will be neither. So let me start off by looking at A. Sorry, B. B. I'll do the little bit more challenging problem. So B, they're saying it's 2 times j of x minus k of x. 2 times j of x minus k of x. So the first thing to do, solve this out. Solve this out. So, instead of writing j of x, let me write x squared plus 4. Instead of writing k of x, let me write x squared minus 4. Questions on the substitution? This is just algebra now. Yeah, Missy? Oh, because I was being lazy. You could have used either. I'm going to distribute. This is purely algebra. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times 4 is plus 8. Negative 1 times x squared is negative x squared. Negative 1 times negative 4 is positive 4. Questions on the distribution? And now, combine like terms. 2x squared minus x squared is x squared. Plus 8 plus 4 is plus 12. Here's the function I've got. So this is 2 times j of x minus k of x. I'll just call this, I'll just make up a name, r of x. All right. There are many people who already are thinking this is an even function. Those people are correct. It is an even function.
Well,
Now,
not in my head.
some people will say the following. Some people will think this. There's an even exponent, it must be even. Do not fall into that trap. Let me repeat this. Just because there is an even exponent does not mean the function is even. I want to be very clear on that. This is not guaranteed to be even just because it has an even degree. This function, I'll call it s of x, I'm just making this up, x squared plus x, also has an even exponent. This will turn out to be neither. So the even exponent tells you nothing. Do not be the person who says, oh, even exponent, therefore even function. That'll be wrong. And we will try to trick you on the exam because we want to catch students who are going to be a little bit lazy and don't want to do the calculation I'm about to do. Yes?
So if it has a number and it has a even
I don't want to make the generalization that you're trying to make.
So if it has a number and it has the
I do not want to make the generalization you're trying to make. Because there's going to be a flaw that I can find. And I'll try deeply to find it. Yes?
Does it even have more than 2 parent functions combined?
Not necessarily, right? So like so I think it's hard to make these like blanket rules. Better to just know how to check. So here's how you actually check. I'm given r of x and I want to know, is it even, is it odd, or is it neither? I think the guess most people have is that it's going to be even, right? But like, let's just check it out first. If a function is even, this must be true. As we just said, this must be true if a function is even. When I plug in 3, I should get the same as when I plug in negative 3. When I plug in 5, I should get the same as when I plug in negative 5. So let's see if this statement holds true for this function. So here's what I'm going to do. For this function, this has to be true. There's no f in this case, just r. So let's see if this is true. So r of x is what? Well, that's just x squared plus 12. So the question is, I'm kind of asking a question. I'll put a question mark here above the equal sign. The question is that equal to r of negative x? R of negative x is just take negative x and plug it in for what? For x. If this had said r of 3, everybody in this room would have said, let me put 3 there. If this had said r of 5, everybody in this room would have just taken 5 there and give the answer. This is no different. Use the basic logic to the complicated problem. Take, do one second, see. Take negative x, plug it here. Negative x squared plus 12. Mitzi, question. So this was the rule we established before I erased the board. So this has to be true for even functions. So instead of writing f, I wrote r because I called it r. That's it. Does that make sense? So now let's multiply this out. This side, I can't do anything. It's just x squared plus 12. This side, I have negative x times negative x. There's big confusion in the other class, so I want to walk through this. This is like saying this, which is the same thing as saying this. Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. X times x is x squared. Negative x times negative x is the same as x squared. So this is x squared plus 12. Yes, we are good. These are the same thing. Therefore, r of x is an even function. Osnar. How come I didn't change the 12 to a minus 12? How come I didn't change the 12 to minus 12, Marvin?
You don't reflect it over the x-axis. Just the one.
That's part of it. Luis?
The only thing you're changing is the x, not the other number.
That's right. David?
So it's only a horizontal thing, and like since the 12 is outside, it's vertical.
That all those reasons are right. And I think, for me, kind of like the way I think about it is if somebody told me what is r of negative 3, I would say, well, negative 3 squared plus 12. Like, I wouldn't make that a negative if I'm plugging in negative 3, right? Like, the negative 3 has no effect on the 12. Like, negative 5 has no effect, so negative x also will have no effect. Remember, always think of the basic example first. Okay. Let me do D. Oh, sorry, Missy. So if it had just been without these parentheses, then the answer would have been negative x squared. Because then I would do the x squared first, then multiply by negative 1. Because exponent comes before 1. Let me do D. Let me do D. Restart the video.
Start.